Please welcome to the show, Caitlin Clark. Caitlin, did you ever
What's
think
up,
you'd
guys?
be back? Cheers.
Excited to be
Cheers.
back. Don't worry. I got this nice throwback theater can.
Well played. Well played.
Sounded like a product placement.
And all we heard that whole week was like, Indiana, they don't get along, you know, all this. And I'm like, great. And then I'm like, this is the most together team I've ever seen.
Is that one of the hardest things for you as a pro now? Just seeing all the narratives like that one, that your team didn't get along and just having to literally ignore it, deal with it, even though you know it's not true?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something you kind of just become used to. It's like people think they know what's going on inside of your locker room, and they just don't. At the end of the day, it's just, you know, the girls that you have in there, and then obviously your coaching staff, and that's all that matters. And
what happens when a WNBA icon predicts a rookie's downfall, only to eat her words in front of the world? That's exactly the firestorm we're diving into today, because when Caitlin Clark, Diana Taurasi, and Sue Bird shared a virtual stage, sparks flew, truths dropped, and a new era of basketball roared to life. Buckle up, this story's got more twists than a playoff buzzer beater.
I can't believe she started off with the reality is coming to me talk. And the fact that they're all laughing about that immediately is good. Straight away. The fact Taurasi, I thought Caitlin Clark was going to have to mention a reality thing. I was like, Caitlin, please say reality. The first thing Taurasi says is reality is coming to me after the reality is coming.
Picture this. It's 2023 and Diana Taurasi, the undisputed queen of the WNBA, steps up to a mic. Asked about Caitlin Clark, the college phenom everyone's buzzing about. She doesn't hold back. Reality is coming, she says, her voice dripping with the weight of 20 years in the game. She's not throwing shade, at least not exactly. She's warning that the leap from college to pro ball is brutal, like stepping from a sandbox into a gladiator arena. But fans hear it differently. To Clark's diehards, it's a challenge, a gauntlet thrown at their Golden Girls' feet. Social media erupts, painting Taurasi as the villain ready to crush a rookie's dreams. Little did anyone know that moment would set the stage for something epic. So what went down when these two finally faced off, not on the court, but in a raw, unfiltered chat?
And you said that Caitlin is going to go through a learning curve. Some people were critical of you for saying that, but I don't know that it necessarily meant that you're not welcoming to her, right? I mean, how do you I mean, it seems like you were just saying the reality is she's going to have a learning curve.
Yeah, you know, it's the new fans are really sensitive these days. You can't say anything. Yeah, you know, it's kind of like when you go from kindergarten or first grade, there's a learning adjustment. When you go from high school to college, there's a learning adjustment. You know, I don't think I said anything that wasn't factually correct, and like anything, greatness is going to translate, and she's proven that in every level, and I don't see it being any different in the WNBA.
Fast forward to 2024, and Caitlin Clark isn't just stepping into the WNBA, she's stomping through it. The Indiana Fever's rookie doesn't flinch. She racks up 337 assists, a league record, and drags her team to the playoffs for the first time since 2016. Her stat line reads like a fantasy draft cheat sheet. 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, 5.7 rebounds a game. Critics waiting for her to crumble? They're eating silence instead. Clark's out here breaking records faster than you can say Logo 3. Taurasi's words about reality start sounding more like a prophecy she misread. But the real question is, did the legend see this coming? Something tells me she wasn't ready for what happened next.
There's more than just that are coming. What will the league have in store for them when they get there?
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
Okay.
You know, there's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you know, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time. Not saying that's not going to translate, because when you're great at what you do, you're just going to get better. But there is going to be a transition period where you're going to have to give yourself some grace as a rookie, and you know, it might take a little bit longer for some people.
Enter April 6th, 2025. The NCAA Women's Championship is blazing, and ESPN's alternate broadcast, The Bird and Taurasi Show, drops a bombshell. Caitlin Clark joins WNBA royalty Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi via Zoom. The vibe's electric, like a reunion of warriors who've seen it all. Clark kicks things off by congratulating Taurasi on her retirement, and before anyone can blink, Taurasi lands the line of the night. Reality is coming to me now, she quips, grinning ear to ear. The room erupts in and laughter. It's not just a callback, it's Taurasi waving a white flag, admitting Clark flipped her prediction upside down. But this wasn't just a cute moment. Something deeper was brewing, and it was about to unravel.
It's amazing, you know, what Caitlin's been able to do in her short career so far has just been nothing short of remarkable. And, you know, the one thing that I really love about her, she loves the game. You can tell she's put the work in. And even, you know, throughout, you know, her short WNBA career, it's been a lot of pressure, a lot of things thrown at her. And, you know, she keeps showing up and keeps getting better every single game. So her future's...
The banter between these three is pure gold, like catching up with old friends who happen to be basketball gods. Clark, sharp as ever, trades jabs with Bird and Taurasi, who lean into their veteran swagger. They swap stories about epic games, like the Fever's sold-out clash with Taurasi's Mercury in Phoenix, where the crowd's roar felt like the earth shaking. Taurasi admits she'd been tracking Clark since her Iowa days, watching in awe as the kid torched defenses. Clark fires back, recalling how she idolized Taurasi growing up, only to outplay her in their matchups. It's all love, no beef, just three legends vibing, but beneath the laughs, there's a truth they're all dodging. Something juicy was lurking, and Clark was about to spill it.
It's amazing. You know, I've been following Caitlin for so long and been watching her college career just in awe. And to be on the court, and, you know, the first game was in Phoenix, and it felt like the last game that was ever going to be played. There was such anticipation. The crowd was going crazy. All the people that came out to see Caitlin and you know, our teams play against each other. It really was an amazing moment. And you talked about how, you know, if you could play against anyone that is this new generation. So I got to cross paths with Caitlin, at least for a couple games. And to me, that meant a lot, you know? Like, we've been doing this for a long time. To see Caitlin do what she does is, I think someone said the other day, I'm like, I want the season to start so I can watch you again.
You were saying what it was like to play against Dee.
Well, I was saying, like, that game in Phoenix, because we only played in Phoenix one time. And it was before Olympic break. Obviously, we had All-Star there too, but
Whispers had been swirling all season about the Indiana Fever's locker room. Word on the street, fueled by some big names like Cheryl Swoops, was that Clark's squad wasn't clicking. Rumors of tension, cliques, and drama painted the team as a mess. Clark hears this and doesn't blink. In the interview, she shuts it down with the calm of a sniper. "People think they know what's going on in our locker room," she says, but they don't. Her voice is steady, slicing through the noise. She calls her team the tightest she's ever seen, brushing off the gossip like dust. But the rumors didn't come from nowhere. Swoops had questioned Clark's dominance, even hinting her presence shook the Fever's core. Was it jealousy or something else? Clark's not sweating it, but the chatter's far from dead.
Diana Taurasi did also ask her what she's been up to in the off season. They kind of made some funny jokes about her guns and the viral picture that has pretty much, I think, everybody has seen. And Caitlin mentions that she's working on her mid-range and her floater, as is totally evident from the workout videos that the Indiana Fever have released.
There's the viral picture that went around showing off your guns. Everyone's wondering, have you been hitting the weight room? Was it the camera angle? What happened there?
Like, how did you do that? I've been trying to do that for 20 years.
AI is getting out of control. Come on. But no, I mean, just honestly trying to get stronger.
So what are you doing in the off season, working on your game?
Trying to get stronger, like a lot of time in the weight room, and it's like something like I kind of enjoy, so it's been pretty easy for me to like spend time in there. And
then there's Diana Taurasi, bowing out after 20 seasons of pure dominance. The woman's a walking highlight reel, 3 titles, 4 Olympic golds, and a smirk that could scare defenders into retirement. Her final season wasn't just a farewell, it was a stage for Clark to shine. Their games in Phoenix felt like history unfolding, with Taurasi guarding Clark like a mentor testing her air. When Taurasi reflects on those moments, her eyes light up. Playing Caitlin was like crossing paths with the future, she says. It's no small thing when a legend hands you the torch, but Clark doesn't just take it. She's already lighting the league on fire. So what's next for the kid who's rewriting the script?
Why you added Natasha Howard, who Sue knows really well, DeWanna Bonner, which I know really well, Sophie Cunningham. I mean, it seems like, you know, from the outside, this roster's ready to compete now, which is easy for us to say. We know there's a process to get there, but like when you see that and you see those names come in, what does that make you feel like?
Oh, well, I mean, obviously on paper we have a really good team, but you know, you only have, I mean, we start training camp I think on the 27th, and then like we have a back-to-back of preseason games on May 3rd and May 4th. So it's like you have a very short amount of time to put that together, and 7 new pieces, and whether we carry 11 or 12, like it's more than half of our roster. Like that's, you know, that's a hard thing within itself, but we should be pretty good. And like, I'm excited about it. I think what we needed was, you know, we added a lot more experience. Like in the playoffs, we just didn't have that. We were a young group. Even Kels, like obviously with being with the Fever through her entire career, she hasn't really had the opportunity to play.
Clark's not resting on her Rookie of the Year plaque. Off-season buzz has her hitting the gym like a superhero in training. A viral photo of her flexing biceps that could bench press a doubter goes wild online. She's not just bulking up, she's crafting new weapons. Mid-range jumpers that sting, floaters that dance over outstretched hands, and drives through contact like she's dodging linebackers. The Fever's roster got a glow up too, with veterans like Natasha Howard and Dewana Bonner joining the mix. Clark's blunt about it. On paper, we're stacked, but with only days to gel before preseason, the clock's ticking. If anyone can pull it off, it's her. Still, there's a bigger storm brewing, one that's not about stats or rings.
Undersized, spread the wealth, move it around, and they're pushing the pace, and South Carolina doesn't like it. Caitlin, you had an amazing rookie season. Like, you just blew everyone out of the water. When you watch Paige play, and you see her in the next level, what are the things that obviously she's going to take to the WNBA and it's going to translate instantly, and what are the things that, you know, it takes you a couple games to get used to?
I think her poise, like that's something you need coming into the W. It like all hits you so fast. Is like you're moving to a new city, you're trying to understand new teammates, you have a new coach, while you're trying to live up to all these expectations. And I think that's like one of the greatest things about her game is just her poise and her maturity, and nothing ever seems to faze her. And, you know, it's just always the same. She's always the same constant leader. So I think it'll be that for her, but also like she can score at all 3 levels. Like she finishes well around the rim. Her mid-range game is some of the best I've honestly ever seen. And, you know, obviously she can score from the 3-point line too. So
here's where it gets spicy. Clark's rise hasn't just won fans, it's stirred tension. Some say veterans aren't thrilled about her stealing the spotlight. The WNBA is exploding, with attendance up 318% for Fever games and TV ratings soaring. Clark's jerseys fly off shelves and arenas sell out to see her, but not everyone's clapping. Posts online hint at a divide. New fans worshiping Clark, old school players feeling overshadowed. Taurasi and Bird sidestep this in the interview, keeping it classy, but the vibe's there. Is it resentment or just the game evolving? Clark's not phased. She's too busy carving her name into history. But this clash of eras is a story nobody's telling straight, and it's got everyone talking.
Play point guard, but she can also play off the ball. I think that'll be an interesting dynamic with Arike, obviously. We all know
he was that Clark was great in the WNBA, but the Fever were eliminated, obviously, in their first round series. And one thing Clark emphasized when talking to the 2 WNBA legends is that the team lacked experience. She did discuss how they added a lot of that. And that was probably the most important thing that they added in the offseason. Not to mention the coach, who she praised in Stephanie White, who she said is one of the best basketball minds she's ever been around. She also addressed that viral photo and discussed how she's tried to add strength so that she could finish through contact and work on the mid.
So why does this interview hit different? It's not just about basketball. It's a window into a sport at a crossroads. Clark's not only playing, she's pulling the WNBA into a new age. Viewership's spiking, brands are circling, and fans are packing seats like never before. When Taurasi calls her remarkable, it's not lip service. It's a nod to a force reshaping the game. Bird, ever the diplomat, asks Clark about her teammate Paige Buchers, and Clark gushes like she's campaigning for her. It's clear, this isn't about one star. It's about a generation ready to rewrite what greatness looks like. But the real kicker? Clark's doing it while laughing off the noise, from locker room rumors to veteran side eyes.
I think it's a really big thing that Diana Taurasi got on the mic and she said these things about Clark after. It kind of, I don't know if it's going to change the viewpoint of Caitlin Clark from a lot of these old bitter, all these old bitter Bettys that are still in the league and they're still pissed off every time they play.
Caitlin Clark didn't just survive Diana Taurasi's reality, she turned it into her playground. This interview wasn't a victory lap, it was a coronation. Taurasi, the queen who ruled for decades, steps aside with a grin, knowing the throne's in good hands. Clark's not waiting for permission. She's building an empire, one logo 3 at a time. As the WNBA braces for her second season, one thing's clear. This isn't the end of a story. It's the start of a revolution. So what do you think? Has Clark already outshined the legends, or is the best still to come? Drop your take below and let's keep this fire going.